Welcome everyone. I was going to do a release cut of VMware Secrets Manager because we needed to do a minor change. There was something missing in the Helm charts. So I thought, since I was going to do a release cut, I thought it was a nice opportunity to do it online in a live stream so that I can both, use it as a recording and put it on the VMware Secrets Manager website as a separate training resource, and also do some live demo, live experimentation. So here we go. We'll start and I'll go through the entire process. I'll open up the official documentation and go through step by step how a VMware Secret Manager release cut is done. This is typically useful for the operational team, the core contributors of VMware Secrets Manager. So it is something that's not typically a developer or a community contributor will be doing, but still it's useful to have context so that if you want to do this in your own CI/CD pipelines or development clusters or something like that, you'll have some context, some idea about how to move forward essentially. So let me give me some time to adjust my environment, and then I'll start accordingly. So let's see. First of all, I'd like to adjust some of the meters because I don't see the vocal output, how my voice is, how do I sound and things like that. And if you if you have any issues with the background music, my vocals, how I sound and things like that, just let me know. I can adjust. But from the meters that I can see, it looks just fine at the moment. So let's see why we are going to do the release cut. So it will be a full cycle. I'll do a PR, I'll merge it because I need a fix for the release as well, and then we'll cut the next VMware Secrets Manager release. So for that, let me first open my Go editor, because VMware Secrets Manager is a Go project. So I use Golang, but you can use any kind of editor to develop vSecond. vSecond is it's a Go project, so you don't have to use a certain kind of editor, even Vim or your favorite Visual Studio Code, Cursor, the AI editor, anything can work essentially. So I just open a new pane down here, and I'll drag my Go IDE to the main window. Where is it? It's here, and I'll make this one full screen. So clear. I think I merged this one, so I'll first check out to main, git checkout main, and git pull to pull the recent changes. Then I'll show you why we need a release, and then I will do the release cut essentially. So let me close all of this. I am in the main branch. I have the most recent code base, and we have two ways of deploying VMware Secrets Manager. One of them, and the recommended way, is to use it through the Helm charts, and the other is we at every release cut we create these Kubernetes manifests as well, so you can go modify these manifests folder and do your deployment yourself. So the problem with this current release was one Helm charts out of the many had a missing what was it? Had a missing missing image source secret. So like when image pull secret, so when it was going to pull like images from a container registry, if the registry is not open source, which can be the case if you have a custom CI pipeline, then you need image pull secrets, and one of the charts didn't have it. So what I'm going to do is to include that image pull secret and create a pull request, approve it, and then merge it, and then after that do a full-blown minor release cut. So let's see where that was. It was under the Spire subcomponent, and it was, as I remember, Spire controller. No, not that one. Okay, let's go step by one. When I see the name, I remember. It's not the Spire server stateful sets, that's what I know. None of these hooks was the one that I was looking for. I think it was Spiffy CSI driver. So let me open Spiffy CSI driver and also Spire server stateful set to like compare and contrast, what's different between them. So if I go to containers, if I search for image pull secrets, I should see here image pull. So like if you see, there is this stanza down here. It says like if there is a image pull secrets defined in the values file, values configuration, then like define it here. If I search in the Spiffy CSI driver for image pull secrets, I don't have it. I have image pull policy, but I don't have image pull secrets. But we have images, so we need image pull secrets as well, so that a pipeline like an air-gapped development environment will be able to pull the images from where those images are supposed to come from. So I want to be consistent, so the image pull secrets in the stateful set is in the stateful sets spec template spec path. So I'll do the same here as well. Like this is a, what is this? This is a daemon set, so it should have more or less same hierarchy, spec template spec, and here somewhere here I'll define the image pull secrets. I just want to keep things consistent so that when there's some discrepancy it will be easier to compare and contrast. So like here image pull secrets is defined just before service account name of the spec of the template. So I'll do the same here. I'll copy this one, I'll come here and I'll put it down here. I'll just clear a bunch of white spaces. So that should be it, I guess. That's a really minor change. Let's see, values image pull secrets. If there is image pull secrets, indented that, put it to the spec of the template, and image pull secrets are defined down here, and it's a list. Okay, that's that one. Let me see what else there needs to be done. So I changed this one, and typically I have a change log, so when there is some like significant change we write it down. But since this is not a major release cut, I'll just edit as a item here, so that when the release notes time comes, it will be easier to like check the actual commit history, and then figure out what has changed and correlate with these ones. I'll just add updated image, edit missing image pull secrets to Spiffy's CSI driver Helm chart, Spiffy CSI driver template Helm template of the vSecum Helm charts. So that's that one. That is the change. We added it to the change log. So I'll open up my Git tool. I like playing with Git UIs. Nowadays I'm using Fork, which is a Mac specific Mac only Git IDE. Let me find it and then bring it down here, and let me make it full screen. So am I in? No, this is not the correct project, so let me launch the project that I'm working on, Secrets Manager. So these are my local changes, so I just want to double check that I have done the correct changes here. And it looks like it did. So one thing is with this Helm charts have changed. So along with the Helm charts, we have these sample Kubernetes resources. So I need to regenerate them as well. So for that I will do manifest. There's a make helper that helps me do that. It is like make Kate's manifest update, and if I give the version that I needed to update, it will do the relevant updates as well. Let me do that as well. So it is 0.27.2 when I run it. If I go to the Git tool, now I can see that my Kate's manifest has been updated as well, since our sample code the actually default settings of the repository doesn't include any image pool secret. It will be just a blank line down here, but still it shows that the code ran and it updated the sample manifests as well, which is good. Let me see what else we have. So I'm thinking, so another thing is we need to update the Helm documentation, because actually right now we don't have to, because I didn't change any parameter, but it's like it doesn't hurt to run it. So when I run hack Helm docs, it will regenerate Helm docs, and if there is any documentation change, it will be reflected in the Helm documentation as well. So that's that one. So I think that's pretty much it. I have the changes that I need. So what I'll do, I'll create a pull request, but first I need to switch to a feature branch. So let me right click. Let me drag this one a little. Can I? Yeah, I can. So let me create a new branch from main. I'll give my alias, and then what's 0.27.2. It's a release branch, so we'll test it, and if all of the tests pass, we are going to cut a release. So this is the branch. I'll stage everything down here, and I'll just comment version 0.27.2. Okay, I'll just disable Grammarly, because I don't want Grammarly to fiddle with my commit messages. So push this one, and then I'll go to the website, GitHub VMware Tanzu Secrets Manager. So there is a Volcan 0.27.2 change. So I'll just paste. I'll also add some description. edit missing image full secrets, come on, secrets to the spiffy CSI driver chart. So Patrick is like helping in Helm charts, and also Abhishek is responsible partially for the Helm charts. So I'll add both of them as reviewers. But typically how these reviews work is like we kind of err on the side of being fast, but still we do the review. So if I am confident enough that this change is good enough, I'll just go ahead and then merge it. But then I'll on a separate off-cycle channel, I'll let these two folks know that, you know, hey, I did this merge, it looked good to me, but please check this, you know, PR. And if there is anything that you see suspicious, I'm going to amend it or I'm going to revert it, kind of a thing. But this change is innocent enough, but still it will be useful to be careful because you will never know. And if there's something that is more crucial, I definitely wait for a full review cycle. But this is like a tiny bit of change, so I feel confident enough. So we created the branch, so I'll check for the changes. What, is it just one file? Did I miss to send another? Let's see. I might have missed. Yeah, I missed to stage a bunch of other files, so let me select all of this stage. I'll just push them, commit 2 files. It's always useful to like review and annotate your changes. Let me push them. I'll go back to the browser. Files changed. Refresh. Okay, now I can see the changes. CSI driver has these image pool secrets added. The Spire YAML is down here, and I also have a mini change log here. It looks good enough, but I am not going to I'm not going to immediately merge this. The reason is I still want to run tests on this branch, so I'll pull the branch on the integration server, run a full test cycle, and once I'm confident about the build, I'm going to merge it to the master, merge it to the main. This way, the main branch will always be stable. That's our purpose. So let's do that one. I have the build server here. I'll just do a tmax ls. I have one tmax session. I use tmax because like if there's a disconnection, I want to be sure that I still can reconnect, and if there's some process going on, it should continue on itself. It won't cut off just because, you know, I was disconnected from the terminal. So I'll do tmax attach -t0, and I'm in the, you know, recent test session. Let's do a kubectl get po -n system. Yeah, I have a working cluster, so what I'll do is I'll just first do a git stash, git checkout main, git pull, then I'll switch to the feature branch, git checkout Volcan. What was the version? 0.27 to 0.27.2. Clear. Then first I'll reset the cluster. For this I can do make cates delete, and for these commands you can use make help. It will list, you know, available commands, and there's also make h, which is like more compressed version of it for like release and deployment tasks. Make cates delete will delete my test cluster so that I can like restart another cluster to run tests essentially. Okay, Now make it start, which will create a new Minikube cluster, brand new, which then I am going to build everything and test everything, so that I won't rely on external Docker hub. I'll be building all the images from scratch so that I can be sure that the source code is in good state. So essentially this is like isolated build test, not trusting anything outside. The only thing that I trust is like Spire as a dependency. I fetch it from upstream rather than building it inside, but other VMware Secret Manager binaries will be built during this testing process. It will take a while. I will likely cut this during post-production because I don't want I don't want people to just watch progress bars all the time. But since this is a live recording, you'll have to like bear with me while I build stuff. So I also run this eval Minikube docker env so that my environment will point to the correct internal Docker registry. Otherwise, when I build the containers, it will be outside the Minikube virtual machine, and I won't be able to reference them essentially. Let's see. So I did that. Let's build things. Make build local. Enter. This will not build everything. Like I said, it will take a while. I'll just mute myself, bump up the music, and wait until things get back to a good state.
I've been in your waters, been knocking at your door. I know one thing for sure, I've never been so close before. You were truly my love, but it was over so fast. Just one thing to discover, it was never built to last. Oh, you just it's one way or the other, no way in between. I ain't getting any younger. You will stay forever a dream. You were truly my love, but it was over so fast. Just one thing to discover, it was never built to last. Oh, you just fall. So throw it on the fire. Let us use the open door. We're at the end of the rainbow now. What the hell are we looking for?
Oh, it took faster than I anticipated. So let's see, we built our container images. So what I'm going to do is to deploy them to the Minikube cluster, but let me just be sure that I have a cluster down here. So make deploy local. So deploy local would mean I'm going to use the local container images. I'm not going to reference to the upstream Docker Hub. It is the local repository. So let's deploy them. And then I'll do some like sanity checks before I run the tests. And I'll hope that the tests will pass, because last time I checked, they were passing. So assuming all of the core contributors were diligent about keeping the main branch up and running and clean, the tests will still pass. But things happen. It is software, so we'll see. Let's see, it's deploying. So what it does is it deploys Spire as a identity control plane, and on top of it, it will deploy VMware Secrets Manager components, which are VMware Secrets Manager Sentinel and VMware Secrets Manager Safe. So let's see what we have in this deployment. kubectl get pod and Spire server. We have a up and running Spire server down here. kubectl get pod and Spire system. We have a Spire agent on our cluster, which means Spire, the identity control plane, is functional. I'll do a kubectl get pod and vsecum system. And I have Safe and Sentinel and Keystone, all three components of VMware Secrets Manager, up and functioning. So which means now I can run tests, and running tests is like I do a make test local, and it will first run unit tests, and after unit tests pass, it will run integration tests. If there is a unit test failure, it will stop at that point, and then I'll have to fix the unit tests essentially. Let's hope that doesn't happen and all of the tests pass, so that we can cut the release, which was the actual purpose of this session essentially. Okay, unit tests passed. Now it's running the integration tests. Those tests will take a while. It doesn't take too long, but still it sometimes does a retry scenario, or it does complicated secret creation and management. So that takes a while, but eventually, assuming those pass as well, I could be confident enough to be able to deploy this thing to to be able to cut a release of this branch essentially. In an ideal world, I should have written the test for the change that I have made as well, but right now I know that the tests need to be written, so I took a note on my backlog. I'll do it separately, because we also have a separate task I can show you actually. If I go to, where is my browser? github.com VMware Secret Manager. And if I go to issues, it is pinned down here. We have a target to increase our unit test coverage to 50%. And anyone who is willing to help this, challenge has signed up. So you can also come and assign yourself. And if you want to add some tests, I can help you. All of the core contributors can be of service to you. I can go through the source code. There is documentation that you can read. You can ask questions in the Slack channel. We have a Discord. You can ask there. There's lots of options, but this is our target. So as part of the target, I took a mental note to test that feature as well, but I am not going to test it right now, because my goal is to create a video that I can repurpose for demonstrating how to do a release cut. So I'm being a little bit pragmatic, I guess, and I don't know, erring on the side of caution, not the right term, but yeah, something like that. Let's see. So tests pass on the feature branch. So what I'll do is I'll follow the official guidelines, so that if there is a problem in the guideline, I'll have a chance to fix it as well. So on the main website of VMware Secrets Manager, there is this release management subsection. So typically when you are supposed to do a release cut, you can follow this guideline and see if things are in good shape, and how, like, step by step, what can you do to like cut a release. So I did some of these already. I created a local registry, I tested the versions, I published. I'm not going to publish the documentation because this is not a major release cut. This is like a minor patch. The documentation hasn't changed that much. Or actually, like, while doing it, let's go through it anyway. So it says publish the current documentation. So it would require us to run hack web serve and hack web sync. To do that, I'll go to my desktop. Do I have a Docker in here? Docker PS. I don't. Let me boot up Docker. PS. Okay, I have a Docker registry. Where am I? I'm in the root folder. Hack web serve. To run the synchronization script, you will need certain keys that typically a regular contributor doesn't have, because those keys belong to the person who is going to do a release cut or do a website update. Right now I have them, and also there is a backup person in the core contributors who has it, and this is only two of us, and that's for in order to like reduce the bus factor. So if something happens to me, that person can take the helm, figuratively, and things like that. So this is web serve hack web sync, and now it will synchronize whatever I have on my local service to the public website, publicvsecom.com website. So this part is done. We published the current documentation. So next, cutting a release. Are you on a release branch? Yes, I was on a release branch. We did pre-release checks. We introduced these recently. I haven't done them, and I'll skip these for now, because like this hasn't been in the workflow yet. But typically, at this point, we are going to run a go vet and then go one check and then run a sync audit, so that if there is any security vulnerability or any code smell, we'll figure it out here. But for the sake of time, I'm skipping it, because like those are stuff that we will be running, and it doesn't change too much things from the perspective of how things go. And like, assuming you are going to do this on your own pipeline, your tool chain will be different. You might be, I don't know, you might be using Black Duck, or you might be using some other source control scanning tool. So since this will not be identical to the process that we have, it's not as valuable to go through them anyway. So but ideally we run a bunch of other things to make sure that everything is in good quality, and after that, like, these tools will create a bunch of reports essentially. One of the duties of the release admin, so to speak, which typically is me, is to check the outputs of those tools and figure out if the release is in good quality in terms of in terms of source code quality and in terms of security vulnerability as well. So if the code is in good shape and if there is no vulnerabilities and if all of the tests pass, then we can say, hey, this is a good release, we can cut it. Otherwise, we'll create issues to fix them and then cut the release. But like I said, I'm skipping that part for now for the sake of time, because some of those scans will sometimes takes a while in themselves as well. Oh, my camera is jumping. Just give me a second. Let me fix it. Sometimes it decides to like automatically track me. It's a AI camera and like, oh, it did it again. Come on, I don't want you to track me. No motion tracking. Let's see. Okay, now it's better. Okay, now I think it won't jump around as much. So where we have left, so we did these tests, testing the images, and now it's time to, like, if all of the tests are passing, I'm just following the instructions. I'm going to merge the release branch to main. Let's do that. For this, I'll just merge this pull request, and that's what I meant. You know, I don't want to merge it right now. I just, even I didn't have the code reviewed. I at least want to have it tested, and personally audit that it's in good quality before merging. But now we can squash and merge this one. So I'll merge that. I delete my feature branch. And let's go back to the release steps. Tagging. I need to create tags, but let me check, because I believe there's a instruction missing down here. Let me go to tags. There's a SDK tag down here as well. So if you see, there is my annotation tool. Down I have SDK 27.0 and SDK 27.1 tags. So I need to create an SDK version 27.2 tag as well, to be aligned with like release cut. Like when a release is cut, it's I try to align all of the tags all together, so we can know when this 27.2 release was cut, SDK was in this stage as well. We didn't do any changes in the SDK, but still, for the sake of consistency, I'm going to tag SDK as well. But before that, I will go to the release server and run go tag. Sorry, not go tag. Make tag as this instruction tells me. So what I'll do is I'll export the Docker content trust to 1, because we are going to build things and push it to Docker Hub. This is like tagging the images and pushing into the Docker registry. Right now it's not again necessary because we didn't do any code change per se, but up till now there might be code changes. So this change is just one of the changes that have been done until this point. So it's a release cut, which means I need to cut a binary release as well. So let me go here. Let me clear this one. Git checkout. Checkout main. git stash, git pull. I'll export Docker content trust to 1. Let's see. Now it says make build and then make tag. Okay, I'll just follow the instructions. Make build. And it will do another build. I'll again give you some music and mute my microphone. It will take its time. When the build is done, I'll come back.
I'm in my element, don't care about relevance. I'm doing me, I'm in my element. We the new delegate, tapping and see. I don't sit and worry about who's on. Back in my bag, there's a new zone. Kettle on my wrist, it's a two-tone. Direct flight out to London. Then might slide out to Lisbon. Crossing borders, getting my stamps up. Travel light, everybody can come. Lay low, I don't want attention. Only show what you see. Never no cap in my rap. When I rap on the track, got me feeling like I'm in the league. Ease. I'm in my element, don't care about relevance. I'm doing me, I'm in my element. We the new delegate. Tapping and see. I'm in my element, back in my element. 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 This is easy as a layup. I don't show if you don't pay up. Long nights had to stay up. Putting hours while you later. I can sit around and wait up. I'm gonna have to see you later. Giving tips like a waiter. Even tell them all you fade on. I'm in my element, back in my element. 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 I'm in my element, don't care about relevance. I'm doing me, I'm in my element. We the new delegate, tapping and see. My mind is in a different place. I haven't been awake for years. I know you try to bring me back. It's in my veins. I was so beyond my feet. I knew that you would rescue me.
Okay, the build is done. So what's next? Let's see. I will do a make tag, which will probably ask for some secure password to tag it to GitHub. I'll do like okay, make tag. I'm just following the instructions. Okay, version 0.27, 7.2. Okay, I need to find that password. Just give me a second. Okay, it will sign and push like the trust metadata to the Docker container registry. And I think it's at least the images are pushed. Let me check. Dockerhub.com. Search for vSecom, and I'll check one particular image because like all of them will be similar. So I go to tags and I see that like 0.27.2 has been released, and also like the latest image has been released. All of the other components are likely be like published as well because that script concluded successfully. So like all of them are updated 3 minutes ago, which means like we have Docker image, Docker container images have been pushed to Docker Hub. But next is to like we need to also release Helm charts, and also I'll check these tags because I don't think I cut a release here. It's just a tag. Let me check the releases. The release is 0.27.1. We don't have a like let's see. We don't have a, we just have a tag, we don't have a release down here. So let me think, do I need, because it's a minor release, do I need to convert this one to an actual release? Yeah, I do because like it's necessary. So let me click here. Let me say create release from tag. What I'm going to do is to generate release notes. It will automatically generate things, but in addition I'll add a bunch of extra release notes from myself as well. So this logo, I'll copy the VMware Secret Manager logo down here, and I'll just put some space. I just stealing from the former release because I want to keep things consistent. So like there's a horizontal bar, and then it says like the notes below is like from the since what happened since the last release cut. It's like a more comprehensive documentation, and also it shows a list of new contributors. So Janak, who are you? Let's check. Let's make you famous. GitHub.com. Yeah, Engin, thanks for your contribution, and you mean a lot to the community. I am hoping more of your contributions will come, and we'll get to see making security secret, letting people keep their secret, and making cloud native security better, like one commit at a time. Any contributor means a lot to us, and Engin is no exception. Thank you, Engin, for your contribution. So let's see. I was cutting the release. This is 27.1. I copied the preamble down here, and this is a minor patch that, let's see what we did. Actually, let me, which branch I am? Which branch? Quit. Git checkout main. Git pull. Let me convert this to like a more formatted release notes form, because since we are cutting a release, let's do it the right way essentially. 0.27.2. Today's date is September 30th. So what edit? We documented all undocumented public methods in the source code. Some of the ASCII and MS screen recordings, other documentation updates. Let's move this one here. Fixed. There is no change. Fixed. Security, no security changes. Yeah, all of these are stuff that we edit. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this one. I'll put a separate PR for these notes, but still I can at least edit to the release notes down here. Paste. Missing image pull sequence, edit. Save. Okay, that handles the release notes part. Can I create an announcement as well while I do the release? Yeah, I can create an announcement. That's cool. Publish release. So we have the release. When we go to discussions, we have come on, discussions. Okay, I'll change this part, later manually. So this will be 0.27.2, and we have the new release announcement down here that details out what have been done since the last release to this one. So that's that one. Let me go to our list of steps. So next step is initializing Helm charts, which will be like right now. Did we publish the Helm charts yet? I don't think so. Let's check it. Our Helm charts are in Artifact tab. So if I go to Resecum, our recent Helm chart is 0.27.1. So what this guideline recommends is to initialize the future Helm charts, and also then update Kubernetes manifests, update Helm documentation, and release the next Helm charts. So I'll step by step follow this. I'll go to the main branch, but before that, let me go and let me push this changelog as well, because I want the branch to be clean at the very least. I'll stage this one as version 0.27.2 changelog update. Let's copy this one. Commit. I don't want to commit. I want to switch to a branch. New branch. Changelog. And then I'll commit the file. Then push the branch. I can safely merge it. There's not much change. It's just a changelog. I'll go to Secret Manager to create a new pull request. Create pull request. Then squash and merge changes. Delete. So let me go to my Git tool. So I'll go to main branch. I'll pull my changes. And also I have a bunch of auxiliary branches. I want to pull the changes on them as well. Like this GitHub pages is the branch that contains the Helm charts. The Kates branch has the snapshots of the Kubernetes manifests. The TCX branch is something internal that we use we use is a branch that we use internally, and this docs branch contains the snapshot of the documentation. All right. So I'll go to the main branch, and then I'll follow the directions. So what does it say? It says hack init next Helm chart script to initialize the Helm charts. So I'll go here, clear hack init next Helm chart. Let's see. I know I need to give a what do I give? Base version, new version. So let's see the Helm charts. Our base version is 0.27.2. 7.27.2. Next version is 0.27.3. Enter. So it created a pull request. Let's check the pull request. So yeah, it is adding, documentation and charts to. Why is it this much? Let's see. Because it created a new folder with the new chart material. So 0.27.2 is the chart that we are going to cut. 0.27.3 is the future version. So when I pull this, I should make a mental note to publish 27.2, not 27.3, because 27.3 is the future version. I'll create the pull request down here. I'll add Abhishek to the pull request. Up. I'll assign it to me. But this is automated, so typically there's not much to review. We didn't want to automate it even further because still a last minute review can reveal certain stuff, like you might see something out of the ordinary in the charts. So let me squash, but still this is the future version of the chart, so it's still, if there's a problem, we can catch it and fix it before we release the next version when the time comes. So we initialize the next Helm charts. The next thing is update Kubernetes manifest to update the, based on the generated Helm charts, run case manifest update to target the update to the new release. All right, let's do that one. But before that, clear git branch, quit git checkout main, git pull up, and I have my new charts. So manifest update 27.3. I have updated the manifests. I'm not going to run Helm docs. Let me see what does hack Helm docs do. It's running the Helm docs through the entire repository. Okay, I can run it, I guess. Helm docs. So it updated documentation for 27.2 and 27.3 version of the charts. So I shouldn't see any changes in 27.2 because I ran Helm docs for it already. But for 27.3, I might see changes. I'm honestly not sure. Let's see what has changed. We have Kubernetes manifests and like there's some README changes. But this is the next version. So again, there is no change. There is nothing related to 27.2, which is good, which means that, you know, we have done enough changes beforehand, so we can cut the 27.2 Helm chart right now. Let's see. We updated Helm documentation. Release Helm charts. Hack release Helm charts to execute the script. But I think, and in this documentation I think needs to be updated, to release the Helm charts I still need to be on a clean repository. So I believe I will still need to make a pull request for the future charts, and then come back to main and then run the release script. That would be like cleaner in a way. So what I'll do is I'll again create a branch from this main branch. Volcan next charts, create and checkout. So then I am going to select all, stage them. Next Helm charts 020 27.3. Let's commit these files, let's push them. Then I'll go to GitHub. GitHub VMware Secrets Manager, VMware Tanzu Secrets Manager. And then let's do a compare and pull request. So I'll just copy the description. I'll again assign this to myself. I will add Abhishek as our Helm master to review this, but let me see if there is anything else. Yeah, this is the future chart. The version number has changed. There is some CRD additions here. Nothing out of the ordinary. I am going to just go ahead and merge this one. Squash and commit and delete. So if I go back to the main branch, where is it? Git branch, quit, git checkout, main, git pull. Now I have a clean branch that I can cut a Helm release. And what I'll do is hack release Helm chart, and I'll give the version that I want to release. To be extra sure, I'll double check. I have 0.27.1. I am going to cut 0.27.2. Hack, make, what's that? Hack release Helm chart. All right, let's go back. Hack release Helm chart 0.27.2. 0.27.2. All right, let's release it. Yes, I have tested it several times actually. It is working. And the branch is up to date. Bing, bing, bing. So now we have another pull request that's automatically created. I'll go and do the same thing that we have been doing so far. So I'll copy the link that I have. I'll come here. I'll paste it down here. So it's merging the new Helm chart, which is the 0.27.2. To the GitHub pages tag branch that contains the let's see, that contains that acts as our Helm repository essentially. So we have a bundled like tarball that has the changes, and also we have the necessary index YAML changes as well. Let's merge this one. Again, I'm going to add Abhishek, and also I'll add Patrick. As reviewers. I'll paste this one, create pull request. Right. Okay, we released that Helm chart as well. I'll go back to our instructions. So we did that one. Okay, now next is adding a documentation snapshot, which I'll just show it, but I'm not going to make a snapshot of the documentation because for two reasons essentially. One reason is there is still a bunch of documentation work needs to be done, so I want it to be completed before like pushing all the documentation. And secondly, there is not much documentation change as pertains to what has been done so far in the current release. This was a relatively minor release, and our release deadline was like far beyond. The reason I had to cut this release was because like our pipelines was missing a image pool secret. So while fetching from the upstream, like I had to fix it so that we can fetch it from the upstream and like use it in our build pipelines as well. So that's a requirement release, so to speak. That's why I'm not going to publish the docs. I can do it later, but essentially it is like running a bunch of scripts. Like if you go and run hack publish docs, it will create a snapshot of the documentation, and I can show you like how that looks like. Let me create a new page down here. So there is this operations documentation snapshots folder. So you can see like a snapshotted version of all the former releases. So like from 0.27.0 to all the way to 21.4. So if you go here, for example, this is a really like older version of the site. It's like also like going, oh, I need to change my view to this one to make it work. So let me like go over it again. So there's the documentation snapshots page that has like a historical snapshots of like older versions. So you can also see, you know, how the VMware Secret Manager website like visually transformed and the content has changed, you know, in time. For example, like at 25.3 there was, you know, this huge red banner. It was like screaming red, yelling, and there was like it's like things are stylistically, you know, changing. And this is, you know, latest version. We have like this landing page, and that's also one thing that, you know, I am pushing away the documentation because I haven't experimented how the new snapshot generation will work with this new landing page. Because like let me go back. For example, here like we add this banner to show that, you know, this is a snapshot archive. I don't think the banner is added to the landing page, so we might need a separate process for it. It's not here, so I will also take a note on it. I'll do it, but it's not ready yet, so I'm not cutting a documentation update for several reasons. One of them is there is not much change here so far, and secondly, we might need to tweak that process, and it might not be demoable at this point. So we added the snapshot of the current documentation. I'm just searching if I'm missing anything. Actually, I'm missing a bunch of stuff that has not been mentioned in this guideline, which means we'll need some documentation updates as well. So for example, let me go back to the main branch. So I have this Kubernetes branch, so if I switch to it, I can show what we have in there. Where's my Goland? So in the Kubernetes branch, we have the snapshots of the former Kubernetes like folders, essentially, those generated artifacts. So I have here like 0.027.1, but I don't have 27.2. So what I will do is I'll first go to the main branch. I'll go back down here. I'll create a I'll open a Finder window. Just give me a second. I'll make a copy of this secrets manager. This is the version that I'm going to copy stuff around, essentially. So then I'll switch to this Kate's branch that has the Kubernetes snapshots, and from there I'll go to the Kate's folder and I'll copy the 0.27.2. I'll go up, I'll go here, and I'll paste it down here. So it will, in that case, I'll have a snapshot of the recent 0.27.2 artifact release cut. So for this, I'll also create a pull request as well. So I'll create a branch off of this one, create new branch. I'll call it, I don't know, my alias or Volkan Kates. And then, let's see. I have a bunch of local changes down here. I'll stage them. Kate's branch. I'll commit these. I'll push the branch. After that, I'll go to GitHub again. Secrets manager. Okay, I want to create a pull request, but I want to base this one to the Kate's branch, not the main branch. I'll paste this one. Let's create a pull request. Okay, those are the files that have changed. Let's merge this one as well. So that Kubernetes branch is done. Let me go to my main folder. Actually, let me go to repository. Let me go to my main branch. Let's pull the recent changes from origin. And now, where am I? Okay, it's char. Okay, I'm pulling the Kate's branch as well because we've just pushed, changes to it. Now I go back to the main branch, and like the main is dangling on its own. I don't know what's happening. I don't think I did something wrong. Let me... The thing is, I started using this fork tool recently. I'll open this one in Git Tower to see, if it's showing the expected outcome, like visually. Maybe it's a different way of representation that kind of like fuddled me essentially. Because like in the main branch, let me compare them side by side, and you'll understand. Where's the... Are they side by side? Safari Gold and Fork. Let me move this down here. So like this is how I see the Git history timeline in like Git Tower, and this is how I see it in Fork. And in Fork, when I click on the main branch, it is like here. Like let's switch the docs and let's switch back to main. It's really like fixated, and then after that main, that I see lots of other branches and changes and tags. So it's kind of a directed graph essentially. So I think it's just a representation. So this is represented differently, and I bet there's a way to like make this look like this, because this looks more cleaner. But essentially we merged the changes to the main branch. So let me go to the source code and see if there's anything missing that needs to be done. Let's go here. So what we did is we kind of cut the Helm chart for 0.27.2. So let's see. Let me check, if it's in the artifact hub. Refresh. 27.1. It will take its time, I guess. Let me go to the web page, Git repository. Main GitHub pages. I just want to make sure that we have 0.27.2 here. Oh no, 27.1. I have an open pull request. Yeah, okay, we haven't merged this one yet. All right, let's merge this baby. Let's see. 27.2. Let's scratch and merge this. So now I have the 0.27.2 in the GitHub pages branch. Let me double check. There is 27.2 tarball here, and also when I go to index.yaml, I'll see that there are references to 0.27.2. Let me also pull there. Actually, I don't need to pull. No, I do need to pull. Let me go to GitHub pages. I want to pull the recent changes from there as well. Let me go back to main. I'll pull the recent origin and see if there is anything that has changed. Not yet. So let's see. So I have the recent changes on my main branch, and what we have done so far is we backed up this 0.27.2 folder in the Kate's branch of the repository. So I can just delete this one because like right now we are working on the future version, which is 0.27.3. And also in the Helm charts, we already published a 0.27.2 Helm chart. Let me check it. Artifact Hub takes a while to update, so I'll assume that it will eventually update, but still I can like delete the 0.27.2 because it is already merged into the Helm chart branch, so we won't be using this one anymore. We snapshotted it, it's like frozen. Any new changes will be done on the 0.27.3 Helm chart. So those are like the cleanup changes that needs to be done on the main repository. So that's done as well. But I think these are not included in the documentation as well. So I'll just take a note. I have an open text editor here. So one thing that is not there is documentation snapshot procedure may need to change, and also backing up documentation and Kate's folders are not in the instructions. So that part needs to be updated as well. I think I'll do it, immediately after this stream, but I don't want to do it, live because like I'll get distracted essentially. But this is done. I'll create another pull request for this cleanup. Let me go here, create new branch. Can cleanup, and let's see what have been cleaned up. Local changes. So it deleted a bunch of stuff, which is fine. I am going to clean up. I'll just push the changes and then I'll merge the branch. And that would be it, I guess. GitHub, VMware Tanzu, Secrets Manager. Let's create a pull request for the cleanup task as well. I'll just do a cleanup. Assign it to myself. It's merging to the main. Okay. Let's squash and merge this one. And yes, right now the repository is in good shape. We cut a release and we did a bunch of maintenance tasks so that it can give you like a idea of how these things can be done behind the scenes essentially. Like I said, I'll cut this one to a more manageable, consumable video content, because I had to like build stuff, I had to run a bunch of things, and I am like talking like this in the meantime as well to introduce and explain stuff. So those won't be valuable for whoever is consuming it. So I like shrink wrap it to a certain extent, but overall that's how we do a release cut. Like I know that there are ways to make this more streamlined, more automated, but for now this is how it is. And like one reason that we are keeping this like this is it gives us more control to wait and see, double check, triple check before pushing something. And secondly, we cut releases like every month or every 2 months, so it's not like we are releasing every day, every week. So this is like a one-off check, and yes, it's a little bit a burden, but it gives some confidence, some peace of mind to whoever is administering the release, essentially. So it's a nice balance, I feel like, and I'd rather focus on like making VMware Secrets Manager a even better secrets management solution, and like adding more features, adding more plugins, more integration points, than figure out how to automate every single release task. Because like as I said, we do it once a month, so it's no big deal at the moment. But thanks a lot for like watching this. Thanks a lot for bearing with me while I cut this release, and I'm hoping to see you on the next session. I'll end this session and this stream right now. I may be doing a bunch of follow-up streams later down the line. What I'm thinking is, like, there are use cases. Let me actually switch to the page and show you. There are some stuff that I'm considering for the like follow-up sessions that I can share with you folks. So if I go to like the website of VMware Secrets Manager, there are use cases down here. Let me go to the overview. Not this one. Like the about page. So there's a listing here, like registering secrets, retrieving secrets, like using a sidecar, encrypting secrets, and a bunch of other stuff. So some of those use cases have like ASCII-NEMA screencasts. Why doesn't it display? Oh, yeah, and sometimes it takes a while to display it. So there are like ASCII recordings that displays a certain use case. But yeah, the benefit of an ASCII recording like this is like it's lightweight, it's easy to stream, and it's relatively easy to edit. So if we change something, it's easier to modify it. But the drawback is like nobody is like commentating, like nobody's talking over this session, and it doesn't feel like a human experience. Essentially, you just need to just read, and it can feel like boring, cumbersome, distant, like however you call it. So my idea is create mini sessions like this, and take one use case or a bunch of use cases such as this one, and go through it, doing whatever is recorded here, and doing it myself essentially, which will create both a session recording and also a more interactive video that we can replace with this one. So we have a that's actually a little bit counterintuitive, because we already have an architectural decision that says we should be using ASCII-NEMA because it's easier, it's simpler, it's better, but I feel like it's a misdecision, and I think, let me show that one as well. Architectural decision records, ASCII-NEMA. It's like this one. Use ASCII-NEMA for use case examples in the documentation. So there are reasons that we decided that. There are pros and cons of using such things, but I feel like a con that hasn't been listed on this page is it makes you distant. It doesn't feel humane, and I don't know. Those are things that I care about. I want to connect with the community. I don't know. You call me a marshmallow if you will, but I want the content that we create to be touchable, and the only way to do this is to maybe not the only way, but one way to do this is to create these kind of mini streams, and then cut them out and like create like repurposed shorter video segments that will be easier to produce because we'll already have the content. So the only thing that I need to do would be to just cut it out and like publish, rather than, it might be even faster to produce than doing this, as kinema editions essentially. So like that's one thing on my mind. It's not set in stone. I haven't discussed this with the rest of the core contributors, but I feel like this would be more valuable this way as well. But we'll see, and I'll let the community know about it. So keep in touch. But other than that, that was all I have to say in this session. I might do another session, but it might be likely in Turkish later down the line at tonight. If it happens, see you there. If not, we'll talk in the next session. Have a good rest of your day and keep your secrets secret.